Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching vloggy style update. So in this video I'm going to be doing daily-ish updates from today, which is September 25th, until October 1st, because for the last 5 days of September I really want to focus on trying to get caught up with some of my goals. Over the summer I really was slacking in my stitching, and so I got behind on a few of my yearly goals, which I will talk about those projects. I wrote down all the numbers, so I have numbers written down here on this lovely squishmallow paper. So I'm going to be going over what my plans are for the next 5 days, and so what you'll be seeing for the next 5 days. So the first one, Autumn Harmony. My goal on Autumn Harmony is to do 5,000 stitches every month, which means that at the end of the year I would have done 60,000 stitches on her total. In August I only did 4,000 stitches, so I am behind, but because I had done more stitching on her in other months, I am only behind by 500 stitches. I have already done my 5,000 stitches on her for September, and so that means that I am already at a point where any extra stitching I do on her this month will be going towards the 500 stitches that I am behind. So my goal for Autumn Harmony is to do 500 stitches on her over these next 5 days, which should not be very hard because now that my kids are back in school, I will normally work on her when they're at school, and then I usually switch projects in the evening and work on something else. So I'll be working on Autumn Harmony. She is by Maxine Gadd, and I'm stitching her on 18 count 2/1 full cross, and I am going to continue working in this area here just because I'm really loving the colors that are showing up in her hair, so I want to keep working in this area here. The other project that I am really behind on is Little Gamer. That was the wrong way. This is artwork by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge, and my goal for this piece was to do 30,000 stitches this year with a goal of 2,500 stitches per month. I got really behind on this one during the summer, and so at the end of September, if I had done the proper amount of stitches every month, I should end up at 22,500 stitches on this chart for the year. So far this year, I have only done 16,662 stitches, which means I am behind by 5,838. So this piece is going to be a big focus over the next 5 days, trying to get caught up on the stitches. This should hopefully be slightly easy to catch up because it is a tent stitch, which is a half cross, so it does go slightly faster than if I was doing full cross, and so I will be focusing on this piece. The only days that I most likely won't be working on this piece is on Friday. I'm still going to be doing Focus on a Finish Friday and be working on Strawberry Farm, and then on Saturday I will be pulling out Game of Thrones by Tilton Crafts because I still need to do that for WhipGo. And for WhipGo, I am trying to do 1,000 stitches on each WhipGo project, so you will be seeing those projects come out on Friday and Saturday, and then this piece will come back out as soon as I work on those 2 pieces. So that is what I will be doing. And also, I think it would be fun if I work on Link this time because the new Legend of Zelda game comes out, I think, tomorrow, and so I'm not getting the game right away, but I think it would be fun to work on Link, especially because I did not get to start the Link pattern yet from Pinky the Pink Designs because I did not finish Kita and I did not finish Strawberry Farm, because if you're new, I am trying to whip down, which means I need to finish 2 projects to start a new project. So because I haven't finished 2 things yet, I still can't start Link from Make It Pink, so it is what it is, but I can still stitch on him on Little Gamer. So those are my plans for cross stitching, and I will just be coming back and doing little updates like, oh, did I meet the goal for Autumn Harmony yet? And so I can show you once she's done, and then I can give updates on how many stitches I've got done towards Little Gamer and stuff like that. And then for knitting plans, I did start a shawl. The yarn is tangled. I ended up starting the Sophomore Wrap by Alexandra Tavel, and this was such a challenge to start. So here is where it currently is. I am loving it because it's like so soft and squishy. This yarn is, I love the way this yarn feels. It's 80% acrylic, I think, and then it's 20% wool, and it's so soft and squishy. I love that. The starting of it though was really difficult because this yarn is so soft and like slippery almost that it was just sliding around on these needles. I was really wishing that I had some wooden needles because they can sometimes grip onto the yarn better. They were just slipping and sliding on these ones. It was a struggle. And my sister started it and she was like, I'm glad it wasn't just me, because she also said that this beginning thing was not easy. It's getting a little bit better now that it's getting bigger, but when there was only like 5 stitches when you start, those 5 stitches were just wanting to just fall off the needle, and it was a struggle. I am using the yarn from Caron in the Macchiato cakes in the color Lovely, which I love this color. But yeah, it was a struggle. And so I will be working on my shawl throughout this week, just trying to make more progress on that, just because a shawl, as it gets bigger, it's going to start taking a lot longer. Like this section here is actually like 20 plus rows, but obviously as it grows, I'll be doing increases. I think you do 4 increases every other row. So it's going to get big, and then it's going to take a lot longer to complete a row, but I love it. And I worked on this while I was watching the show From. If you haven't watched the show From, it is so good. Like everyone that I know who has watched it, like my family watches it, we all love it. It's really weird though. And so there's like a family and they are on a road trip vacation. I can't remember exactly season 1 because right now it's on season 3. But they end up stuck in this like town and they keep trying to drive out of it and they can't get out. They're stuck there. And so like there's creepy things that happen, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's a really good show. But the downside is it's only on, I think, MGM Plus. So I had to get MGM Plus just so I could watch it because season 3 just came out and I had to watch it. So I was working on this while I watched From. That kept me entertained. In terms of books, I will still be reading Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I have an audiobook version, so I will be listening to that while I stitch. And then I have books from the library that I need to read, which is stacks back there. So whatever I end up reading, I'll most likely end up talking about. So I will be back with updates on my cross-stitch pieces hopefully soon, and hopefully I can make some good progress over these next 5 days. I am back with a very underwhelming update. So the first clip that I filmed was on Wednesday, and I did not cross-stitch at all Wednesday. I cross-stitched a little bit on Thursday, and then I did not cross-stitch on Friday, and now it is currently Saturday. So I've only actually cross-stitched 1 day since my last update video, which means that there is not a ton to show. So we're gonna be crossing off a lot of the things that I thought I was going to do. They're not being done. So I ended up not working on Strawberry Farm yesterday, Friday. I thought about working on it today, and then I was just like, no, because I don't want to throw everything else that I want to do off. So I'll work on Strawberry Farm next Friday, hopefully, and yeah. But anyways, so I will show you what I did get done, which it's not a lot. So I did a whole 200 stitches on Autumn Harmony since my last update. I was just filling in more of the reds here, and because it was 200 stitches, there's probably not that much noticeable progress. And then on Little Gamer, I did some of Link, so I was filling in where his hat is. So I did get a couple hundred stitches into Link, so that was nice. And so because I did not stitch very much the last few days, I think what I'm going to do is I already didn't work on Strawberry Farm. I was planning on working on Game of Thrones today for my Whip Go piece, and I think I'm just going to scratch that, and I won't meet my Whip Go goal for the month, but it's fine because I already didn't meet my Whip Go goal for last month too, I think. So it'll be fine because I just want to keep working on Little Gamer because I do want to have this at 30,000 stitches at the end of the year, so I really need to get caught up on Little Gamer. Also, the last part of the Hade Stitch Along came out like a couple days, was it yesterday, I think. It was supposed to come out October 1st, but they had it come out, I think, Friday yesterday, because then people have the weekend to work on it. There's already people that are fully finished with the entire piece, which is crazy, and so I'm also kind of tempted to pull out my Hade Stitch Along, which is Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3. So if I do end up pulling that out, then you will see what I get done on that. But that is all that I have for this update. So hopefully I will be back tomorrow and I will have actually done some more cross stitching. But That's what happens. Life gets in the way because I didn't even knit or read because there was one day that was spent doing some cleaning, and then we had to go to like Costco and some stores, which those are like 20 minutes away from me, so it's not like just like a quick trip. Usually it takes longer. And so yeah, I just had to do life stuff and did not get to do a lot of stitching or other fun hobbies, but tonight. I don't have to do anything tonight. I can just stitch away, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with more progress. I am back with a small amount of progress on Autumn Harmony. I ended up doing the 300 stitches I needed, and I filled in this red leaf here and then started doing some of these like greeny browny colors in these leaves. And so now I have done the amount of stitches I needed to get this caught up. So now it's at 45,000 stitches, which is where it should be at the end of September. So I am happy on Autumn Harmony. The goal, I'm where I'm supposed to be, so that's good enough. So that is all that I will be doing for her. And then I will be working on Little Gamer today. Today is Sunday. And so here is where I am on Little Gamer. I'll be working more on Link because, you know, the new Zelda game came out, so I gotta work on Link. I was also going to quickly talk about yesterday. I didn't do a ton of stitching because I did start reading this book here, The Lost Bookshop, which... let's get to focus. There we go. It is so far really good. So there is a lost bookshop. There are 3 different characters and there's 2 different timelines. So there's 1920s and then there is like a modern timeline. And so all the characters have like different things going on. The one in the 1920s is running from her brother who's trying to marry her off to someone and she does not want to. There is a character in the modern times who is running from an abusive husband, and then there is a boy or a guy that she meets who is looking for a lost manuscript and a lost bookshop. So it's just about their lives and this little bookshop that, you know, connects all of their stories. So far it is really good. I did read like 100 pages yesterday because it was pretty good and I did not want to put it down. But today I will continue working on Little Gamer, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow with some good progress on this one. I am back with, I think, over 1,000 stitches done on Link, so he is getting very filled in there. The hat is, I think, completely stitched in, and then I have the hair almost finished, and then later on I will get to work on like his little body and his face and everything. But so far, he is looking cute, and it's actually the last day of September now, which means I'm going to be done with this little trying to catch up on my goal. I did not catch up on my goal. I have a clipboard with all the numbers. So I was 5,838 stitches behind where I should be. I did a total of 1,500 stitches on this over the last few days, so I am still technically 4,332 stitches behind on where I wanted to be on Link at this point in the year. I wanted to be ending September originally at 22,500 stitches complete on this chart, and I am ending September at 18,168 stitches done on it so far this year. So what I have decided to do is that I took the amount of stitches that I need to do still on this chart to get to 30,000, which was 11,832, and then I divided it by the amount of months left. We have 3 months left, and so now every month I would like to do 3,944 stitches on this instead of 2,500. I just threw a lot of numbers at everyone, so I am apologizing if that was a lot. But yeah, so I'm basically just gonna change my goal on this chart now. So instead of doing 2,500 stitches a month, I will be trying to do 3,944 stitches a month to hopefully meet my goal on this. I will say though that going into October, I am very excited because I am going to be going back to spinning a wheel. Yay! And so that's something I was going to talk about probably just next, is I was going to talk about what charts are going onto the wheel, because I am going to be just throwing a ton of charts onto this wheel because I want to stitch on like everything. So I made a list of the charts that I would like to put on my wheel for October. These are the things that you will be seeing me stitching on next month. And I will say that I don't think I'm going to do, originally earlier in the year I did the spinning the wheel thing where it's an app. I think the app is just called Spin the Wheel, the one that I use, and it's on Android. I'm not sure if it's on iPhone. And when I did it before, I was spinning it Monday through Friday. I would spin it like in a video clip, and then on Friday I would spin 3 times, so I would have 3 different charts to work on for the weekend. I don't know if I'm going to do it that way because recently, the last few months, I have not been stitching every day. And so in September, I actually had 9 days that I did not stitch at all. And so I think what I'm going to do this month instead, or coming up into October, is I'm not going to plan on doing necessarily daily spins. It will be spinning when I am ready to spin. So if I have a day that I don't stitch, then I'll just stitch on whatever chart I hadn't stitched on yet. Or if I spin a chart and I do 300 stitches and I'm not feeling it anymore, then I can spin again that same day if I want to. But yeah, so it's just going to be more of like a spin when I'm ready to, and that is what's going to be happening. And the charts that I'm going to be putting on them. So I will start with Fables is going to be on there. Fables is from Gecko Rouge, and it's one that I'm putting on there because it's at the lowest percentage of the list of charts that I want to finish, because I went through and I had decided I want to whip down. I have charts that I want to finish, charts that I'm not planning on finishing, and I made my spreadsheet and I saw that Fables is at the lowest percent, so I want to stitch on charts that are at lower percents to get them higher so that I don't just have a bunch of things that are almost finished and then a bunch of things that are not close to being finished, because that will stress me out, because I have like a few things I've really been focusing on, like Autumn Harmony, Kita. Those will be easy to knock off, but then I'm going to end up with a bunch of things that are like 6%, and that will just stress me out on how do I work on all these low percent charts. So Fables. And then Rainbow Basin is going to be on there, which is by Tilton Crafts, because it's a Whipco piece and I'm supposed to do 1,000 stitches on that. Keyblades to the Kingdom is going to be going on there because that's also a Whipco piece, but I am also still not sure if I want to stitch it on the same fabric, because the fabric I'm using is very stiff. I tried washing it since I made the video where I was talking about it, my little like mini whip parade video. I have washed it, I soaked it, I've tried things to make it less stiff, and it still feels very stiff, so I might restart it on something else. I do have a piece of 18 count fabric that is a Zweigart fabric, and Zweigart fabric is very nice. It's softer, so I might restart it on an 18 count fabric, or I do have a piece of 28 count that I could stitch it on, so I might do it on one of those two. I need to see the fabric and see how it is getting it into a hoop, because that was one of my big issues, is that when fabric is super stiff, it is hard to even get it into a hoop, and hoops are my preferred fabric holder. Like I have Nerd hoops, and then I also have just the regular circle hoops. So there's that one. Templar Prophecy is going to be going onto the wheel, and I am putting this in Halloween category because it's going to be October, and I finished all my actual Halloween charts. So I had Tonight We Ride, and then I also had Festive Frosted Pumpkin Cottage. Those are finished, and I don't think I have anything else that is like actual Halloween. So I am gonna call Templar Prophecy Halloween because it's like, you know, dark fabric with red thread, kind of spooky vibes from that. That's all I had. And I'm not starting things, so that's what I get. And then I'm also putting Witcher on there in a Halloween category because I want to work on Witcher, and also people could dress up as Witcher for Halloween, so I put Witcher on there too because I want to work on him, and it's also on my list of things that I want to finish. The majority of these charts are actually on my list of things that I want to finish because I do want to make a big dent in that, the number of stitches that I need to do on that. And then the next one is Little Gamer because I have the goal of trying to do almost 4,000 stitches on it in a month. And then the 12 Movie Nights of Christmas, because for my year-long goal on that chart, I was trying to do 3,000 stitches on it this year, and so I need to do 1,000 stitches on it every month. And then I put the Haid stitch along because I would still like to finish the 4 pages on that. I don't know if that's going to happen. And then I put the board game stitch along just because I would like to make some progress on that, because I haven't worked on that in, it seems like, forever. And then I put Santa's on his way because I am ready for Christmas. I am one of those people where once we get to like Halloween time, I am ready to put up all the Christmas decorations, watch the Christmas movies. I'm just full steam ahead. And then Kita, I put on there, and if I spin Kita, I will be spinning twice. So I'll spin Kita. If I get her, I will spin again, because for Kita, I would only work on her for 30 minutes at a time because I don't like backstitching. I just know that. And so if I were to plan on doing a full day of backstitching, I would not do it. I just wouldn't do anything. So I put that, and then that's it. That is everything that is on the wheel. It's quite a few things though, because I think it's like, what, 10, 11 charts? And I don't even know if I'm going to be spinning every day because, like I said, last month I did not stitch every day. So there is my plans for October, which I'm really excited about spinning the wheel again, just because I'm excited, number one, that I have a lot of different things on the wheel, because before it was very structured and always the same whips. It was always, you know, Tonight We Ride, Festive Frosted, Autumn Harmony, Little Gamer, and it was always like the same like 5 or 6 projects, and now I'm adding more, and so I'm happy to work on things that I haven't worked on in a while, and I'm also just excited to see what gets picked by the wheel because, you know, I feel like I was kind of in a rut of just working on the same things all the time. So that is the plans for October. Knitting I will talk about really quick because I watched the second episode of From yesterday. Okay, first of all, I think I talked about From a tiny brief bit, but it is so good. It is kind of scary, so if you don't like scary things, you probably wouldn't like it, but it's also perfect right now because it's almost Halloween for a kind of little creepy, scary show. So I mentioned that the original family, they're driving, they end up in this town. There is not a way to get out. They keep driving, they keep ending up in the same spot in this town. There's already people that are living there. They have been there for a while, and it's about these people who get trapped in this town, and there are these creepy things that come out at night, and they have to they can't let them in. If they let them in, then, you know, bad things will happen. I don't want to say anything graphic right now, but yeah, so it's really good. It's on season 3. There are 2 seasons already, and those I think were available to watch on Amazon Prime, but season 3 I had to get MGM Plus, which is fine. I'll get it for the show. And so far, season 3 has just been so sad. The first 2 episodes, they just really got me. They were sad. And that's all I can say because I don't want to give away spoilers. But I was knitting while I watched that show. That's what I was getting at. So I was working on my shawl. This is the Sophomore Wrap by Alexandra Tavel. I will link it down below. And there is the progress marker of where I was before. And I am just working more in this waffle stitch section. And I just love the colors, and I love how soft this yarn is. It's also difficult to work with though because it's very slippery, but I am enjoying this so far. I did realize though that the waffle section is so much of this wrap because, where is the chart? The first 57 rows are going to be the waffle stitch before you do like a section where you're just like knitting and purling. And so 57 rows are going to be waffle stitch. I think I'm only on row like 40 something maybe. And then the whole shawl itself is only 117 rows. So that first like half section is just all going to be this waffle stitch. So it's going to take a while just because I am not the quickest at doing like fancy stitches. It's not even fancy, it's just going back and forth between knitting and purling in a variety of ways. So I will keep working on this in October just because I would like to have it finished for winter and be all nice and warm and cozy. In terms of reading, I have not made any more progress on any of the things that I am reading or listening to, so I still need to keep reading The Lost Bookshop. I really need to finish Tress of the Emerald Sea because it's due back in a couple days. And I also got the second book from, I have it up on my phone because I can't remember the name. So A Court This Cruel and Lovely was the first book in the series. I don't know what the actual, okay, the series is called Kingdom of Lies. I just saw it on my phone. And the second book came up available for me on my holds list, so I checked that out because I'd been waiting, it seemed like forever, and so I need to finish Tress, and then I need to listen to the second book from Kingdom of Lies. So that is the things I need to be listening to, which I will technically have a little bit of time to listen to things tonight because I am currently filming this. It is September 30th, and it's still early in the day. It's noon, and so I technically will have more stitching time later, and I will most likely just stitch on Autumn Harmony, and so I can show that, you know, when I film my clip for tomorrow for my October 1st thing, but I wanted to give myself time to edit this and get this out so it can be up on October 1st. So that is all though that I have for this video. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you would like to see me spinning the wheel, then you can come back, I think hopefully next week for another video of me spinning the wheel and working on a variety of charts, which I'm excited to have some more variety in my stitching. Bye!